Hey everyone, I hope you are doing well. I am doing great and I'm excited to be sharing with you guys once again on this podcast. Beautiful. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Oh, before I continue, to introduce myself, my name is Leanne. Right. So today our topic is the basics, right? So I'll be sharing on things that are very simple, but can easily be forgotten. And I think these are basics in terms of beauty, right? So I'll start with a verse today and then jump into the information right after. So today's verse will be from Luke chapter 16, verse 10. And it says, "He who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. And he who is unjust in what is least is unjust also in much." Right. And I felt like it tied in so well with today's topic because today's topic is the basics. So I think with beauty and growing or investing more and more into our beauty, if we're going to move closer to that self-actualization or whatever we think is the best version or the best beautiful version of ourselves, it's good to get a hang of some basics. I think if we really don't get a hang of these basics, we create room for some loopholes, and it might actually at some point when we're in the future bring us back to earlier stages maybe that we shouldn't have been coming back to because of not getting a good hold of these basics, right? So yeah, so I've noticed that basically in life or in maybe in relationships or even in beauty as in now, it's the little things that matter, right? I know One Direction has a song, I think, that's called Little Things. So these little things are what I'll be sharing on today. And I have three of those little things. And number one is washing. And I think we all know that we should wash, but sometimes we don't know why we're washing. Of course, like it's been a way of cleaning ourselves. We know we need to wash our bodies, wash ourselves, but we'll find that it's like whenever we look at ourselves in the mirror and we think, I'm not as beautiful, it's not like I didn't wash, but I think it's because there's a third reason for washing that we don't remember often. I just listed three reasons that I think are like the reasons why we wash, but there's a third one that I think we don't really zoom into or consider when we're washing. So the first reason why we wash is because we want to balance body smells or body odors, right? And then the second reason is, of course, to clean our bodies, maybe of sweat and other different things. But then the third reason that I'm very interested in that I'll be sharing more on is personal intimacy and appreciation. And by personal intimacy and appreciation, I'm not talking about anything wretched or something like that. I'm just talking about, us seeing ourselves in our most vulnerable state and, just as you are, and appreciating and loving on yourself before anybody does or anybody has a say on you. Like just a woman who's washing her baby or a man who's washing his car, they do it with intentionality. They do it with love. I'll give like a contrasting example, like with a woman who's washing, like maybe who's cleaning the kitchen or cleaning the house. Usually, it's with intention to make sure that everything like is clean, but it's not usually with love. It's just like everything should be cleaning here, right? But it's different with a man who's washing his car. There's an element of love there. And I think it's the same with us. When we're washing ourselves, getting in touch with ourselves, when we're washing our neck, washing our core, washing our legs, and every other part of our body, acknowledging the beauty that is there. Even maybe when you have a big belly, or if you have parts of you that you don't like, there are parts of you that you like, and you'll find really that there are some of those parts that we don't like still have some beauty to them. Like you can literally still celebrate your entire self. It just depends on the way that we look at ourselves. It's only that we've allowed other people to speak to our beauty before we personally appreciate and, speak onto our beauty, because we're the ones who know ourselves fully and most intimately, right? So, as we do this, we wash away the lies that we're not beautiful. Even maybe, for example, if you have stretch marks, I like what Megan Good once said about how she views hers. She said that to her, they're like her tiger stripes. And that was like, I really love that. It was just perfect for me because she views herself in a beautiful way. Someone might have stretch marks and be like, oh my goodness, this is the death of me. I'm just ugly. But it's just how we embrace ourselves. And I think it's in this washing period or this washing time when we can actually do this, right? I'll give also another example to this. We all know roses, right? And roses are not no roses have thorns, but they're not known for thorns. They are known for their scent and for their beauty. For example, the color of the roses or the type of the roses. So, and that's what people look at. And I think that's what we should do when we're looking at ourselves. Having self-love for ourselves, not by just a post or posting on social media, self-love, but in reality. And one of those ways is actually can actually be during the time when we're washing ourselves. Because one of the love languages is touch. And beauty feeds on love. So when we're washing ourselves, we can actually take this as a time to really wash and embrace ourselves completely with love. I think that by the time you're done and you're going out to the world, to people, with that in mind, even your energy is speaking beauty. People might say what they want to say, but you can even look at yourself during this intimate time, and say good things to yourself. Like, oh my goodness, I'm a whole nuclear weaponry right here. Or like, oh my goodness, I'm a whole demolition force right here, just controlling your self-talk even as you wash yourself. Because most of the times when we're washing, it's like, let me get this done and hurry up and go. But that's not what we should do. We should be in the present during this washing time. So now, how do we wash? We should wash thoroughly with enough water. Twice a day if possible. And of course, we're not trying to please people. But with washing, we also wash for other people because we don't want to find ourselves in situations where we are washing where we're not washing ourselves and we sit with people and now they start to become uncomfortable or they keep staring at us, that just creates a whole cycle of us being inferior or feeling inferior and the other people just, looking at us nasty and things like that. So I think we should take that into consideration, take other people into consideration as well. Not that I'm washing so that I can look good, so that they can love me. Of course, we wash to look good, but not to please other people per se, but just considering them as well, right? So that was basic number 1, which was washing. Now, basic number 2. Basic number 2 is still on washing, but it's on a different part of ourselves, right? So I know usually when we wash we wash like the external, because the internal washes itself. But we also need to make time to wash our mouths. That is brushing our teeth and washing our tongue and caring for our lips. We don't need expensive products really. Just the ones that we think work for us. And we may not notice it, but our lips can determine how beautiful we are or how beautiful we look. So it's important to moisturize our lips. And they don't need to be glossy, really. I think just investing in a good lip balm also works, as long as they're not, cracked up and not looking so good. It can really diminish or reduce our beauty, right? So then the third basic today will be on nails. I think that most people know that we should cut our nails, but sometimes it can be easy to forget. There's one person that I know in the Bible who did not, well, two people who did not cut their nails. One of them was King Nebuchadnezzar, because he was mentally unstable. He was crazy, right? And the other one was Mephibosheth, I think. Yeah. And he had literally given himself up because he was fasting. So for us, that's different, because when you're fasting, I actually think you should look the prettiest version of yourself so that nobody knows. But I brought these two examples because I think we shouldn't have reasons why we let ourselves go and have nails that are not well kept, because it's the little things like having dirty nails or unkept nails that make people frown upon us. You can look good, have nice clothes, but if your nails are looking weird, people wonder like what's with the nails. So I think that is one of the basics that we should not forget, right? So now that we have covered these three basics, I think that when we intentionally incorporate them, especially during a busy week, we can, because during the week we can forget to take care of ourselves. This way we can be running late, we can be trying to do so many different things. But I hope that we just remember these three basics. That is to wash our bodies, wash our mouth, and and clean our nails. So what I love about these basics is that they don't only enhance beauty, but they also build it. Considering that our bodies are the only thing that we'll take with us to the grave, I think it's good to give a little attention to the body. I don't think it's a bad thing just to give good attention to it. And yeah, if we carry these basics throughout our lives, even as we grow much, much older, I think they can help us to still keep our beauty, right? And so today's episode is going to be very, very short, because I only had three basics. But otherwise, from me to you, I hope that this will be very, very beneficial, and that you will be able just to remember these three basics: to wash the body, the mouth, and to groom the nails.